not that song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
FF episode 1507, 1507 here on December 7th, 2017. All these sevens, so nice. I am Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Café Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley, Mont. I guess it's a lucky show. Today we hear from Madam Rutabaga Valentino, Bison Bentley. I had a wonderful experience driving to work today.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That was hearing the Daily by the New York Times and the two ladies who
Mike's Daily Podcast
initially exposed the Harvey Weinstein story. They've got a lot more to say about the cover-up and the conspiracy about what happened. People covering for Harvey, and this includes everyone from lawyers to TV to this the awful Daily National Enquirer.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Oh my gosh, they just blatantly, openly admitted that they helped Harvey Weinstein. It's just crazy.
Mike's
These women that have
Daily
put their lives,
Podcast.
their dreams on the line.
Yeah.
And just being buried by all these complicit, crappy people. Oh, it's just bad. So, Time Magazine, the Me Too movement, the silent speakers, was that what it was? That was their cover yesterday that came out. And Taylor Swift was on it because she has had her issues with sexual harassment with stupid radio people that touched her bum, grabbed her. And Al Franken is about to resign. I thought he already had, but apparently he's going to give a speech today with the fresh accusations that have come out. Look who walked in. A couple people have walked in. Hello, Michael Masters, Madam Rutabaga, and I am a character on your show. Oh, that's right. Look who else is here. Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the banking attendant. And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Thanks for coming into Cafe Anyway, guys. You're welcome. Welcome. You're welcome. Do you know that? Hey, we haven't done this thing yet.
Mike's Yuletide Personalized MP3 for Thee contest.
And here's today's podcast picture.
We got a couple things to get to. The Yuletide Personalized MP3 for Thee contest. We do this every year. We've been doing it since the beginning of the podcast. And if you would like a special personalized MP3 of all... an MP3, by the way, I probably should change that because they stopped the backup or whatever. The company that initially created the MP3 went out of business because I guess that's not the format, the wave format, the audio format that people prefer anymore. But it's the easiest one to make. It's the easiest one to email. So if you would like a personalized one of all the characters here at Cafe Anyway, all you got to do is email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com, or call me, 336-MM-DAILY, with your special Christmas greeting. Whatever you want to say for Christmas that we can play on the show. Something, some little thing, some little holidays, happy Christmas, season's greetings, happy Hanukkah, whatever you would like to say. Happy Kwanzaa. Be cool, be fine, be whatever, and I'll put it on the show. And you'll get, in return, I will email you a special greeting from all the Cafe Anyway characters. There's about 10 of them, I think, last count. 10,000. So do that now before you forget. Hey, because you'll forget. You're a busy person. You got stuff to do. You got your triplets. Oh, wait, that was last show. I don't know. Maybe you do have triplets. That just killed me, that story. When the experienced triplet mom, where her triplets are 19 years old now and off to college, telling the 23-year-old who's about to have triplets, first time in her life, and the older mom says to her, yeah, I took one of my triplets to the store one day, and that one triplet looked at me and said, Mom, this must be what it's like to be an only child. And I, being an only child, heard that and went, whoa, that's what I experience all my life is being an only child.
Whoa.
And the characters thus were created because of my being alone all the time. Yeah. That was a sad little trombone. Can we get even a sadder one? How is it that that succession of notes makes us so sad? I don't know. But that's my comment about that. So I don't like Business Insider. Business Insider can suck it because you try and go to their website and it yells at you that you got ad blockers on and it won't let you read the content because you have ad blockers. So screw you, Business Insider. Bye-bye, B-I. Bye. Hey, if you are bi and you listen to this show, thanks. Stuck up Facebook girl. There's a stuck up Facebook girl that now I'm going to be all pro woman in a moment. But this woman, I think most women would look at this woman that I'm going to talk about and go, what the hell? So this lady who is I'm Facebook friends with, but she really doesn't know who I am. Because she just basically approves anybody who wants to be her Facebook friend. She is friends with a guy I once interviewed. He was in a band. I think the band broke up, but he's somewhere on my website, actually, in the interview section, which you can find at mikesdailypodcast.com. Also, when you go there, you can help us out through the PayPal if you would like to be, if you are so bold. And there is so this guy, I'm friends with him. And he posts pictures with his girlfriend all the time. And she's really pretty. And so, but pretty. And then also, she's had a little bit of work done in certain areas of her body to make her curvier. She's had some augmentation. Fine, whatever. So she takes a lot of pictures with her boyfriend, and then he takes a lot of pictures of her, and she's in scantily clad clothes. Well, not she's in bikinis. I guess scantily clad. That's such an old 1950s term, but scantily clad. There you go. So I feel like I'm on an episode of Mad Men. You see that dame? She's pretty scantily clad. The best part of this is when the drums come in. Check this out. Because it's not only real drums, but bongos. The bongos come in. I had a dream about Robert Guillaume last night. Robert Guillaume passed away recently. He was Benson. He was on the TV show Soap. He was on Benson. He was also on Sports Night, if you ever watched that show. He was also the Phantom of the Opera when I went to see it back in the late 80s. At the Century Theater? It was Century City. The Schubert Theater, that's right. And he was the main character in the musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber. Robert Guillaume popped up in my dreams last night. That's strange. But I always wanted to meet him, so I guess in a way I met him. My point being, the aforementioned girlfriend person that I was talking about on Facebook, she commented on something her boyfriend posted. Her boyfriend was posting about, do you ever feel ugly? Do you ever feel unattractive? And she goes, you know what? Most of the time, I know I'm beautiful. Except there's that one day that I'm like, no. But most of the time, I'm just killing it. And it's really hard for me because my mom was a model. And I read that and I went, what? Was she kidding? Was that a joke post? What the... And then she said to her boyfriend, thanks for loving me, even though I have a big butt. And she does not have... It's tiny. You would not... Wow. So I read that and I just sort of... Where was I? Oh, yeah, I'm a feminist. So what I was talking about was this horrible Harvey Weinstein thing where I guess he used to have to inject some kind of chemical into a certain part of his body. and he would have assistants clean up for him. Yes. That is what has come out now in the New York Times, and I was just listening to that podcast on the Daily, is what it's called. And the host was talking to the writers of the first story that exposed Harvey Weinstein. The New York Times published scathing report last night, actually Tuesday night, with fresh details on the way Harvey Weinstein took advantage of assistants, manipulated colleagues, and worked in cahoots with gossip writers. Harvey paid for this erectile dysfunction drug with his company credit card. Two of his former assistants said they were tasked with supplying the injectable drugs, often delivering them in brown bags to hotels and to meetings with women. One assistant earned a $500 bonus for procuring the drugs. Other things Harvey Weinstein's company's money was spent on. And reading this, by the way, makes me never, ever, ever want to watch any movie made by his company or whatever that company turns into in the future. I don't want to see a single movie or have anything to do with this guy. And the fact that he had so much to do with Hillary Clinton's campaign makes me go back in time 2 years ago to when I was having a conversation with Haley, someone who in his early 20s told me that he was pro Bernie Sanders because he didn't like all the stuff surrounding Hillary Clinton and her past, and the fact that she's married to Bill Clinton, who several women have come out that he has done horrible things to them. So it was just bad, the whole Hillary thing. And to him, I said back then, to Haley, I said, no, we need our first woman president. And he ended up being right, Haley. There's a lot of murky stuff around Hillary Clinton, especially now that it comes out that she had this close relationship. In fact, Lena Dunham warned Hillary Clinton. Lena Dunham was a big Hillary Clinton fan, and she told Hillary's deputy communications director, Christina Schack, I want to let you know that Harvey's a rapist and he is going to come out at some point. I think it's a really bad idea for him to host fundraisers and be involved because it's an open secret in Hollywood that he has a problem with sexual assault. Harvey Weinstein was a longtime supporter of both Bill and Hillary Clinton and a guest at and a host of parties during Hillary's campaign. Harvey Weinstein spied on his own colleagues, and it also mentioned here that he was especially close to David J. Pecker, the chief executive of American Media Inc., which owns The Inquirer, and he would basically cover up for Harvey Weinstein any tabloid exposure. So it makes me wonder how many other tabloid TV type shows also covered up for Harvey Weinstein. But so that is an article in USA Today. And here we go. Thank you. New York Times article here. Where's your byline, New York Times? Oh, there's Maya Salam who wrote this one. Oh, it was Jody something and Megan something that wrote this article. Okay, maybe I'll find that at some point. But also an interesting news surrounding Ronda Rousey. Is it Rousey? She has reportedly finalized the deal to join the WWE. It has long been expected that the former UFC women's bantamweight champion would make the move to professional wrestling after her career in the octagon was over. And now it looks like it's happening. That also reported from USA Today. And now sexual harassment allegations towards Warren Moon, a California woman who worked for a sports marketing firm led by Hall of Fame quarterback Warren Moon, filed a sexual harassment lawsuit alleging that the retired football player required her to wear thong underwear and share his bed during business trips. When is there going to be any allegations against religious people, preachers and such? especially the big mega preachers. We've known about stuff for a long time. I've known, like, my ex-wife's church that she used to go to back when we were first dating. The guy that ran that church, apparently he had an affair. And, you know, there's all kinds of sexual peccadillos. Pick your peccadillo. And, by the way, back to that time that was in Ventura. And Ventura is still dealing with the fires. And apparently the wind's going up to 80 miles per hour today. That's scary. And the house that I used to live in there, the duplex, apparently I think that has burned down. I just saw a picture yesterday that may be proof that it went up in smoke. So that was very scary. Silent Makers is what that was, the New York Times. And then Al Franken, facing fresh allegations of sexual misconduct and vanishing support from fellow Democrats, appears to be on the brink of resigning from the Senate. That could happen today. Franklin scheduled an announcement for today through his office, and he'll have a final decision on resigning. But a majority of the Senate Democrats called on the two-term lawmaker to quit after a woman emerged Wednesday morning saying he forcibly tried to kiss her in 2006. Hours later, another woman said Franken inappropriately squeezed a handful of flesh on her waist while posing for a photo with her in 2009. That brought the number of women alleging misconduct by Franklin to at least 8. He used to be on Saturday Night Live. Used to do a report on there. He did several reports. And then he was Stuart Smalley on there saying, I'm good enough, I'm strong enough, and doggone it, people like me. He faces a chorus of calls to step aside, and Democratic senators say they expected their liberal colleague to resign. Kirsten Gillibrand, I always get her name wrong, of New York, said enough is enough. We need to draw a line in the sand and say none of it's okay. None of it is acceptable, and we as elected leaders should absolutely be held to a higher standard. Gillibrand, that's it, was the first to call for Franklin's resignation yesterday, but a torrent of Democrats quickly followed, including our wonderful Pamela Harris. Here from Kamala Harris. I'm messing up everyone's name today, sorry. The senator from California also said so as well. Hey, I am going to now jump to another story, and that is we're going outside a Café Anyway. We're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Garrison Keillor. He has been accused of touching a woman's back. I don't know about that one. That one can be, he said it was, well, he got dropped from everybody. Everybody, he used to do this thing called the Writer's Almanac. Hello and welcome again to the Writer's Almanac. I'm Garrison Keillor. Today is the birthday of Al Franken. It was on this date in 1822 that the first sexual harassment case was reported. I touched the small of a woman's back. I didn't mean to. I meant to touch her butt. I'm Garrison Keillor, and I have now been taken off every single station in America. I used to be on Prairie Home Companion. Not the best impression, I admit, but I used to listen to that Writer's Almanac as I was getting ready for work in Alabama, where Roy Moore is going to soon become senator. Thank you, Jeff Sessions, for that, because he left. That's why we... Oh, by the way, the podcast picture was of Basil the Boxer. I neglected to mention. It was taken yesterday on our walk. And every day we walk about 3 miles, and every day it is not helping my foot. That's still trying to heal. And I should just stay off of it, which I do at work. I pretty much stay in one spot the whole time I'm at work. I have that. That's the one benefit. It doesn't pay much, my job, but it allows me to stay put. So Basil, though, needed a walk. He needs a walk every day, and we walked there. And there's a great picture of him as the sun was setting. And I spoke to Steve, this guy I see a lot when I walk my dog, and unfortunately, his little dog Winston died, so let's have a moment of remembrance for Winston. Winston's such a great little dog. He had, what was he? He kind of looked like a little tiny Ewok. Just the sweetest dog, and he would see Basil, and they would sniff each other. But Winston sadly died of prostate cancer. That happens to dogs. It sucks. I don't know why it happens to dogs, but poor Winston, he's gone. So I talked to Steve. I walked with Steve for a while and kind of consoled him. Nice guy. It's tough, though. It's tough. Winston made it to 11, though. Good job, Winston. I hope you're in doggy heaven and you're happy as can be. You know, didn't mean to end this show on a sad note, but there you go. Oh, on my way to work in Alabama, I used to listen to that Writer's Almanac with Garrison Keillor, and I'd be all fired up for work, you know? I'd have my coffee, and then I'd hear that show and that music, that slow piano playing, and his soft voice, Garrison Keillor's soft voice, and it would put me to frickin' sleep! Oh! Why? And there's this local guy, Michael Krasny. He puts me to sleep in San Francisco on the local PBS station. Oh my God. He talks about nothing, and his voice is just... Hey, so thanks for listening to the show. Next show, we're going to have the wonderful Shelley Shuhart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer. I wish all the best for Michael Krasny.
Later that day.
Oh my gosh, it took me forever to find out the names of the writers of that article in the New York Times. Jody Cantor and Megan Twohy. Thank you for writing that article. Jody Cantor and Megan Twohy. And I also forgot to mention, it's my dad's birthday today. He's been gone now for 12 years, but happy birthday, Dad.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!